Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Super Sports Central. Today we have my Week 8 NFL predictions. So last week I had a record of 10-4, which brings my overall record on the season to 62-46. Starting off this week on Thursday Night Football, we have one of the better games, and that is the Ravens visiting the Buccaneers. So I could see this being a great game. The Buccaneers have not been that good this season. They're coming off a bad 21-3 loss against the Panthers, and Tom Brady is not looked like himself, which is a big factor of why they're 3-4 this season. Also bad offensive line play. The Buccaneers need the passing game and the run defense to get going, as the run defense used to be one of the best in the league. Now this year they're about average, and they're facing a top 5 rushing attack this week with Lamar Jackson and Gus Edwards. And Gus Edwards had 2 touchdown runs in his return last week. So I could see this game going either way. I think this will be one of the better Thursday night games so far, and I think the Buccaneers are going to bounce back, get back to 500 on the season, and take this win on Thursday Night Football at home against the Ravens, winning by a score of 27-24. Up next, we have the game in London, and that is the Broncos against the Jaguars. So the big question for the Broncos is Russell Wilson going to play? As last week's game, he was out with a hamstring injury, but it seems like he's going to play this week. But the offense has been really bad with or without him, so I don't really think that'll make a difference if he plays or not. For the Jaguars, they've had a great start this season, but now they've dropped 4 straight, and they also traded away running back James Robinson during the week, but he didn't really play much. He had 1 touch last week against the Giants, so Travis Etienne should be the lead back for the Jaguars as he was last week. And if Travis Etienne can have another good game, I like the Jaguars' chances, but I don't know if he could have another good game because the Broncos' defense is so good. So I think this is going to be a low-scoring, boring game, as that's typically what you get when you got the Broncos playing. But I'm going to take the Broncos getting the win here 17-14. Moving on, we have the Panthers at the Falcons. So this is a big game for the NFC South as a division because of all the teams being so bad right now. The Falcons are a weird team. They convincingly beat the 49ers 2 weeks ago, but now they were destroyed by the Bengals last week. The Panthers are coming off a win against the Buccaneers last week, and they're going to have PJ Walker starting at quarterback again, as he was good last week against the Buccaneers, throwing for 177 yards and 2 touchdowns. I could see this game going either way, but I'm going to go with the Falcons getting the win at home here by a score of 24-20. Up next, we have the Cowboys hosting the Bears. So the Bears got the impressive, dominant win over the Patriots on Monday Night Football. The offense looked good, putting up 33 points, but they still weren't that good. And I don't really think one game changes the entire offense. And now the Bears, on a short week, they're playing the second best scoring defense in the league, and the Cowboys have a really good defense. So with the combination of the Bears being on a short week, the Cowboys having one of the best defenses in the NFL, I don't think the Bears are going to be able to score much. Plus, they just lost Robert Quinn to their defense, who is a big player for their defensive line and their defense as a whole. So the Cowboys will get the win here, 24-10. Up next, we have the Dolphins visiting the Lions. The Dolphins snapped their 3-game losing streak last week on Sunday Night Football as Tua returned from a concussion. And now the Lions, they really haven't been that good. They're 1-5. They've been somewhat competitive in some games. Not all games. Last week they were competitive in the first half. And I think they could be competitive with the Dolphins for a portion of this game, but the Dolphins will then pull away for the win as the Dolphins come out on top at 34-21. Moving on, we have the Vikings hosting the Cardinals. So the Cardinals are a completely different team with and without DeAndre Hopkins, and it showed last week as they were able to put up 42 points as DeAndre Hopkins returned from a 6-game suspension. He had 10 catches for 103 yards. And I could see the Cardinals getting the win here. Both teams are on a long week. The Vikings coming off a bye. The Cardinals played on Thursday Night Football. So I could see this game going either way. I think it's going to be a pretty high-scoring game, but I'll take the Vikings with the win here, 34-31. Up next, we have the Raiders visiting the Saints. So both teams have been disappointing so far. The Raiders are 2-4, the Saints are 2-5. The Raiders should look to ride a red-hot running back in Josh Jacobs, who in his last 3 games has ran for 441 yards and 6 touchdowns. And the Saints defense is supposed to be really good, but has not been really good, specifically against the run this season. And that could be the difference of this game. The Saints also have several key players on the injury report, like Marshawn Lattimore, Jarvis Landry, Michael Thomas, and others. And if Marshawn Lattimore is not going to play, then that could definitely be a problem because the Raiders also have a few pretty good receivers, such as the best receiver in football, Devontae Adams. So I could see this game going either way, but I'm going to take the Raiders getting the win here behind another good game from Josh Jacobs as the Raiders win this one by a score of 27-21. Moving on, we have the Jets hosting the Patriots. The Patriots are on a short week and they have a quarterback controversy. Mac Jones was benched last week for Bailey Zappi, and Zappi had two quick touchdown passes, but then nothing else. And the Patriots have said Mac Jones will start for this week against the Jets, but is he going to play the whole game? That is something we'll have to wait and see Sunday. Now, the Jets, they suffered a big blow last week in the win against the Broncos when rookie running back Breece Hall went down with a torn ACL. They traded for James Robinson, but I wouldn't expect him to play a ton as he still needs to learn the playbook. So I would expect him to see limited playing time. But they do have another good, or pretty good running back, Michael Carter. So he will see I would think he would see the bulk of the work at running back for the Jets. And the Jets have looked good this season, and I think they're going to continue to have a good season as they're going to beat the Patriots for the first time since 2015, as the Jets win this one 26-17. Up next, we have the Battle of Pennsylvania, and that is the Steelers against the Eagles. So the Steelers are playing their second straight road game, and the Eagles are coming off a bye, so the Eagles obviously have the advantage there. The Eagles just traded for Robert Quinn, and their defensive line was already really good, and now it gets even better, and they should dominate against a bad Steelers offensive line. The Eagles secondary is also really good, which would make it a difficult day for rookie quarterback Kenny Pickett, as the Eagles will get the win here at 27-7. Up next, we have the Titans against the Texans. So the Titans are coming off a big win over the Colts, but quarterback Ryan Tannehill is dealing with an ankle injury. If Tannehill can't go, then they will turn to rookie quarterback Malik Willis to make his first career NFL start. With or without Tannehill, the Titans would like to lean on Derrick Henry, and they're facing the league's worst run defense. And if you add Malik Willis in there, and he ends up playing for the Titans, that just makes them more dangerous because he is a great dual-threat quarterback. So I think the Titans will get the win here with or without Ryan Tannehill, convincingly, winning by a score of 31-14. Up next, we have the Commanders visiting the Colts. So for the Colts, Sam Ehlinger will start at the quarterback position, as Matt Ryan was benched, and also he's dealing with a shoulder injury, which would keep him out of this week anyway. And now, the Commanders also playing with second-string quarterback Taylor Heinicke, who led them to the win against the Packers last week. I could see the Colts taking this one, but I need to see that Sam Ehlinger can lead this offense and lead them to a win in the NFL before I pick the Colts. So I'm going to go with the Commanders getting the win here 24-20. Moving on, we have the Rams hosting the 49ers. So the 49ers have been great against the Rams. They've won 7 straight regular season contests. The 49ers are coming off a really bad loss to the Chiefs. And the Rams are coming off a bye, so they had some extra time to prepare for the 49ers. But I would still take the 49ers for the win. And I think we might see more Christian McCaffrey in this game after he didn't play a ton last week. But I still think the Rams are probably the better overall team. The 49ers have just owned the Rams lately, so I'm going to go with the 49ers here, as they're going to get the win here at 27-21. Moving on, we have the Seahawks hosting the Giants. So this was a really tough game for me to predict. Both teams have been surprisingly good so far. Both teams want to run the ball. Neither team has a very good run defense. Both are bottom 5 in the NFL. So it could come down to quarterback play. Both quarterbacks have actually been surprisingly good. I feel Daniel Jones has been somewhat better than Geno Smith. He's improved a lot from last year to this year and has showed improvement throughout the entire season. And he's led the Giants on several game-winning drives, and I think he'll do it again as the Giants will get the win here in Seattle, 27-24. But I could easily see the Seahawks getting a win here. Up next, we have Sunday Night Football, and that is the Bills hosting the Packers. So we will have a live watch party for this game starting about 8:10 Eastern Time. So coming into this season, this should have been one of the best games all season long. The Packers have not lived up to preseason hype, and the Bills are elite like we expected. The Packers have really struggled lately with 3 straight losses to the Jets, Giants, and Commanders. And the Bills are coming off a bye. The Bills should dominate this one as they'll get the win here at 34-14. And finally, Monday Night Football, we have the Browns hosting the Bengals. So we will also have a live watch party for this game starting about 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday. The Bengals are back to being an elite team. They're firing on all cylinders offensively. And defense looks good once again. The Browns could have some success running the ball with Nick Chubb, but he's not going to be able to single-handedly keep them in the game, as the Browns' defense has not been very good, and their offense is somewhat one-dimensional with only being able to run the ball. So I have the Bengals getting the win here, defeating the Browns on Monday Night Football, winning by a score of 31-21. So those are my Week 8 NFL predictions. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know if you agree with my predictions, disagree, and why. Make sure to check out the community tab of my channel where you guys can vote on who you think will win some of this week's big games. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. I do my best to post as often as possible, and I will see you in the next video.